Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. I hope you're really feeling like yourself, like you feel like you're coming back to yourself. Oh, I don't have my headphones on. Hopefully you can hear me. I guess we'll learn the hard way. But yeah. Hopefully you're feeling like coming back more to your true self. I hear inner child healing. I hear, sitting back and maybe reflecting on how we were raised, or what we saw coming up, or what we didn't see coming up as children. I believe they say that like our most malleable years are the first 7 years that we're alive, where that truly captures like our essence. And then after that, it's basically like what affects us. So that's what I'm getting right away. I want us to go ahead and download. Okay. Let's go ahead and ground ourselves. But sounds like there's going to be some major downloads coming through. Okay. All right. Go ahead and get centered. Set the intentions for this new moon celebration. I'm sorry, this is not a new moon. This is a first quarter moon. And just to let all those who may be tuning in for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. For those of you who are returning, I'd like to welcome you back. You can call me Haki. And my goal here is to be a shamanic guide to light the path forward through the darkness, and to ultimately allow us to see that going through the valley, embracing our shadow, and coming out on the other side is the most powerful and fastest way to manifesting true alignment and prosperity and peace that surpasses all understanding and allows us to manifest the desires of our heart, where the blessings start to chase us down. What have I accomplished to allow me to be that person? A lot. A lot. I'm not here to boast or brag about myself or my accomplishments. However, I'm very proud of myself. I'm very thankful to who I now know as my spirit team, my divine ancestors, like how I have been opened up and expanded when it comes to spiritual relationship. That's really what I believe that religion tries to do, or is supposed to do, is to guide us to how to develop and hone in our relationship with God and all the parts that make up God's kingdom, God's universe, just God as a creator, the supreme being, the most high, has so many pieces and parts. God operates through people, just through so many different signs and synchronicities and messages and downloads make up God. Those things that are connected to love and light and good news and peace. Things that are are eternal, things that can't be seen. That's God. And so as I've learned and been very tuned and tapped in since a child, I now, over the past 3 years or so, almost, I have stepped into a realm, a timeline, a reality that I could only have dreamed of. And I'm very, 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 very thankful. So thank you, God, ancestors, archangels. Thank you all, Holy Spirit. And I knew I had a strong will as a child. I learned that. My mother says it to this day. And I was able to make a lot of my dreams come true based on the people that were around me, family even, that I was inspired by. And I suffered a lot of loss. I've lost a lot of people that I've held very dear to my heart, which took me into a deep depression my freshman year of college. And I had to pull myself out of that after suffering 3 very close deaths back to back. As soon as I got there, first month, second month, third month of my fall freshman semester, where I started to question everything I was doing. Couldn't get out of the bed, didn't want to see the sunshine, put the covers over my head, kind of depression. Didn't know that it was really depression at the time, but I knew I was having a hard time and I was struggling. And I incurred more death of close, dear loved ones after that. But I had to change the relationship that I had with death, where I had to accept that it was something that was inevitable. It was something that we all had to experience. But I realized and learned that it was not the end. Scripture says that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. And we may have taken that for granted when we were younger, just really not understanding or truly, having enough experience to really appreciate that scripture. But as I started to focus on what the people who I had lost, what they left me with, what they taught me about life, what they showed me by their examples, the things that I held on that were dear to me about them, allowed me to celebrate them. And when I started to celebrate them, I was able to process death differently. It still hurt. It still sucked. It still didn't seem fair. Sometimes didn't even seem real. But I learned in the last 2 to 3 years that those are my guardian angels now. And that makes me smile. And I realize that many of them have been trying to get my attention for a long time. And now they have my attention, and I could do better. I want to bless them, thank them, love on them, give them offerings every day. And twice on Sunday. How about that? But I'm saying all that to say that my spirituality has expanded so much. And I was able to manifest things before, and I don't even know if I was calling it manifesting. I just knew that I had a vision, I had dreams, I had goals, and I had achieved a lot of them. And some of them, I didn't even know what it was going to look like after I achieved them. Nobody around me had achieved them. I just knew what I wanted and I went for it. And now, looking back over the last 3 to 5 years, I would have never thought that in my early 40s, I would not say never thought, but I didn't think that I would have achieved what I've achieved in the last 5 years as quickly as I have, or achieved it this young. And now that my spirituality has expanded and I truly know my relationship and the access that I have with those that look out for me in the spirit realm, I know for sure that none of this is for nothing, for naught, in vain. Every single piece, at least of what has been shown and given to me, has been done with purpose, for a reason, with intention. And I know that God's creation was put here for us to not only have dominion over, but to be able to use for our advantage to manifest the desires of our heart once we truly realize that everything that we want is already here. Everything that we desire is already in us. All we have to do is stay the course, hold to our vision, and be present. Stay connected, stay in tune, stay in touch, stay tapped in with your core, with your being, not to deny yourself, not to self-sabotage, not to betray yourself. To stay true to you, to that core, that essence of who you were from age 0 to 7. To not allow our generational patterns, family dynamics to break us and change who we are at our core. Not to allow the decisions of our 20s that we made trying to escape what we went through or didn't go through or didn't experience in childhood. We try to escape from it. And then as we move into our 30s, we start to maybe tap back into that childhood, undoing the decisions we made in our 20s. And then hopefully as you get to 40 plus, you start to be able to reparent yourself, embracing your inner child, giving your inner child the things that you may have missed out on or didn't have as a child, where you're able to really experience the blessings that come after that as you move forward in life. I hope that makes sense. I hope that was a good place to help ground. If you have a hard time grounding, grounding is really just reconnecting to the earth allowing ourselves to feel that safety, that sense of security and support. Like really, what is supporting our feet? What everything is sitting on. Just processing that. The entire world. All the things that we build is resting on top of this planet. She spins consistently every day. You know, something we could probably take for granted sometimes. But allowing ourselves to really appreciate Mother Earth. Maybe allowing ourselves to love on her a little bit more, whether it be cleaning her up, making sure that we are reducing our own personal amount of pollution, or even saving energy by turning off the lights or not wasting water. But just to truly appreciate what this planet does for us and allow ourselves to really feel that security that we can often take for granted. And it's really just a time to not just relax and meditate, but to really allow ourselves to reconnect and allow ourselves to release what's no longer serving us so that we can make room for what is and what is in alignment with our souls. The true core and spirit of us. Thank you, Mother Earth, for always being our source of grounding. Okay. So, first quarter moon usually represents, you know, possible, could be challenges, upheaval, just a sense of like, you know, when we have a releasing, gearing up for like a fresh start. You start to come in contact with like your first bit of problems, or, you know, things that seem like blockages. So if you've been feeling heavy in the energy lately, it's possible. I was just talking to one of my Ascension sisters today. You probably could be feeling the energy of the collective where there's a heaviness around having to do more, feeling like you're not doing enough. And I was sharing with her even that, you know, if you're feeling like you're tired and you just want to lay down and go to sleep, like, that's okay, right? It's okay for us to get rest. Like, do not listen to this nonsense about your sleep when you're dead. That's bullshit. Like, your body needs rest or you will fall down dead. So make sure that you're listening to your body. Today's Ash Wednesday, but when you look at this message, it will be the first quarter moon. And, you know, this is a season typically for many believers of fasting. You know, most religions have some sort of season or time of fasting. I believe since this is the astrological new year, it's a great time for releasing. It's a great time to purge and detox so that we can be fresh for the spring. We can be fresh for the blooming and the blossoming that's coming in the next season. So if you're feeling a little down, a little heavy, just allow yourself to Go within so you never go without, but allow yourself to just nurture yourself. Lay down and get your rest. Listen to your body. If you're trying to fast and your body is feeling weak, maybe there's some adjustments, but this is a time to really tap into our bodies. As we fast, you could be feeling a lot of energy. You could be feeling an energy boost. You could be feeling more clear mentally. You could be experiencing just more awareness, more focus. Just like you're just feeling heightened and elevated. Like everything just seems more enhanced. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. But if you get to a place where you're feeling low, just go ahead and get some rest, okay? And be easy on yourself, like my girl Alina says. Go easy on yourself. Life is about the journey, not the destination, okay? Being present in every moment, because that's the gift. That's all we have is the present moment. All right, tomorrow never comes. So don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today, but also get your rest. Life is about balance, and that's our motto here at MiSpot. All right, there's so much. Okay, so I want to share a little bit of what my friend sent to me earlier today. So she's been asking ChatGTP, like just kind of talking like to it like her friend, after we were talking, and she was telling me, and I was telling her how she's probably feeling the energy of her soul tribe, and just to get her rest and not to trip, like just enjoy the rest, like lay down. Like I am one, let me tell you something. When I feel like that, I will go lay down in the middle of the day. I ain't too proud, and I am not afraid. So this is what ChatGTP said to her when she was telling it how she was feeling. It says, "You're definitely not alone in this. There's been a heavy, sluggish energy in the collective, and it's hitting sensitive souls extra hard. Right now, we're in a waning moon phase, which naturally pulls energy inward, making things feel slower and heavier. On top of that, Mercury is in Pisces, which can make the mind feel foggy, emotions extra deep, and motivation hard to find. Plus, there are some intense cosmic shifts happening with Saturn and the Sun, which might be amplifying feelings of exhaustion, self-doubt, or even resistance. This kind of energy is asking you to pause, go inward, and nurture yourself. It's okay if things feel harder today. Try not to force it. Instead, do something gentle for yourself, like an energy cleanse, meditation, or even just resting. This will pass, and you'll be back to your high vibe magic soon." Okay? So I hope that resonates for someone. I do want to tap into the planets and what's going on with them, because that's what I've been doing, and it's been really, 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 really helping me. And so, of course, one of the things that I really want to make sure we do as a collective is allow this energy to help us manifest things that are for the greater good of all and harm to none. We're not here to play God. We're not here to manipulate energy for what we think is good or what we don't want to deal with, because at the end of the day, what goes around comes around, like Angie Stone said. What goes up must come down. And so life is about these cycles, and it's in our best and highest good to be in flow and in alignment with the cycle, because it's preparing you. Okay? So I will get into the planets in a little bit, as far as like the aspects and things like that. But right now, as I open up my Oraline book by Alina, which this is my first year with this book. I've been following her for a few months, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. So the moon is now in Gemini. We're also in a Venus retrograde, and there's a Mercury retrograde coming up next Friday, the 14th, and the moon will actually be in Libra. Okay. We have also our full moon. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We have a full moon. Damn. We have a full moon next week, which is a total lunar eclipse. I've gone through these in my past few messages, so I don't want to go through them like over and over again in depth, but this is what's happening in the next week. So this is actually a third quarter moon. Am I tripping? This is a third quarter moon, a waning moon. Hold on. It should be new moon, first quarter, full moon, third quarter, right? Why do I keep getting like thrown on that? First quarter. Yeah, because we just had a new moon. So first quarter, full, third quarter. I don't know why I'm going blank. But anyway. So that's what's happening in the next week. Okay. And so we'll definitely pull from our Moonology deck. We'll also have our full moon celebration next week. I want to do a love message. I was thinking about it on the 3-3 portal. Time just didn't permit. So we'll find another opportunity to do a love message and slide that in. Oh, excuse me. But hopefully the weather is, if you're in the northern hemisphere, the weather is shifting. I mean, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's shifting as well, but you're probably coming out of your hot or summer months going into your fall, whereas the northern hemisphere is shifting into our warmer months, going into the spring, coming out of the winter. I don't really think there's much here, so we'll close the Oraline book. So here we'll go. Let's look at the astrology. I want to also be able to give like the signs. I don't want to call them horoscopes, more like affirmations, which I look at as like small prayers or mantras and meditations that you can say to yourself, as you open up your spirituality and your relationship to the divine. These will be things that you can set intentions behind, and they will be wrapped and supported with the energy of the planet and the astrological alignment for your greater good. So this doesn't really give me, it's going to give me what's happening right now, which is about 24 hours before our true moon. However, just give me a second and I will try to see what the current, or what the what's going to be happening tomorrow during first quarter, third quarter, first quarter. I don't know what's happening. I'll figure it out though. Don't you worry. All right. So let's see here. I just want to get a few. Oh, no. I think the moon. Oh no, that's going to be for the full moon. All right. So tomorrow. Uh-oh. Hold on. Back up one day. Back up. So March 6th. All right. Okay, so I can't really tell you the aspects right now, but I can tell you where placements are. So, of course, the sun is in Pisces, right? It's Pisces season. And so we're about halfway through. And Saturn is also in Pisces. The North Node is in retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is also in Pisces. Mercury is in Aries right now, and Mercury will be going in retrograde. Oh, excuse me. I believe at the end of the month. I can't really see. Let me see here. I can't see my calendar on the wall. Okay, no. Mercury goes in retrograde next week on the 14th. Yeah, right after that lunar eclipse. So listen. I just posted on my Instagram. You can go follow me on Instagram at MiSpotHealing.com. MiSpot with an I. That's MiSpot Healing. On Instagram, my link should also be in my YouTube description information. Not the description, but if you go to the About section or something like that, you can find my website, which I also want to kind of read my story that's on my website, and you'll kind of understand how I got in this position as well, to where I think that I can do this and I can teach. And I do a lot of other things too. I'm an engineer by education, and that's what I do for a living. That's also a dream come true. Been doing that almost 20 years now, so don't judge a book by its cover, baby. All right, so hopefully you were able to enjoy Fat Tuesday or Mardi Gras yesterday. Oh, I'm just so thankful for all the things I'm learning. And now we're going into this fasting season for the next 40 days. You are not alone. There's a lot of folks that are here with you. Fasting doesn't always mean food. It could mean refraining from social media. It could be refraining from cursing. It could be refraining from television, or maybe like pornography. And then, you know, like one of the things I like to remind people of is as we are clearing things out or releasing things, we make room for other things, and we can be intentional with that. We can set intention to bring in things that will, healthy things that will replace the things that we're giving up. So maybe you want to add meditation to your daily routine. Maybe you want to read, open up a book that you've wanted to finish or start, and maybe you give 15 minutes to that book every day. You could enhance your prayer life. You could do several things, okay, that could be healthy. If you wanted to do something regarding diet, exercise, then you could eat more fruits and veggies. Maybe you decide to have an apple or an orange or some grapes or grapefruit or watermelon. I don't like those, but I know they're good for you. But maybe you want to start your mornings off with something like that. Maybe you let go of the coffee and you replace it with the fruit, or whatever is speaking to you. Okay, let's see what else we got. Something else I wanted to say, but oh, come on. All right, Mercury is in Aries, like I said, going into retrograde, and I believe Mercury will be retrograding between Pisces and Aries. All right. Venus, like we mentioned, is already in retrograde. I believe she started in Pisces and now she's in Aries, and she could possibly be doing the same thing. So love, beauty, communication, intelligence could be calling us to reflect, calling us to revisit some unresolved issues, maybe saying some things that didn't need to be said, or at least starting to think about them. There could be some things you want to do as far as like how you're feeling about your appearance that you want to revisit, some things that could do with your money that you want to revisit, especially if you are a Pisces, sun, moon, or rising, heavy on the sun and the rising, and the same thing with Aries, sun, moon, or rising. All right. Uranus is in Taurus. The moon is currently in Gemini. So is Jupiter. He'll be there for a while as well. Mars is in Cancer, about halfway through. South Node is in retrograde in Virgo, moving into Libra. I don't know what that is. Lilith, that's Lilith, is in Libra. And then last but not least, Pluto is in Aquarius, which will be there for a long time. Yeah, he's going to be there anywhere from 12 to 31 years. I'll have to look to see how long, but Pluto is a generational planet. So when Pluto makes shifts, he makes shifts generationally. So things change and dynamics. It's raining again. It's right on time too. Dynamics in your generational patterns could shift if you are in alignment with the energy. Okay. All right. Now, let's go to the aspects. So, like I was mentioning on my Instagram, I've shared the different components and astrological aspects or relationships, such as conjunctions, trines, squares, sextiles, and what they mean. And then I've also provided keywords and astrological focus of each planet, including the sun and the moon, and what they represent. So that when you hear the sun trining Mars, you can think of descriptive words and adjectives to help you understand what the sun represents, what a trine is, and what the moon represents. And so as we flow and we're in flow with the present energy, when we know these strong aspects, we can, like a trine is something you want to be in alignment with because it's helping you. It's supporting you. It's giving you a sense of harmony with not much effort. Whereas a square could give you this feeling of needing to break out of the box, where you may need to get creative. You may need to understand that you may be facing some challenges, so that you're more prepared and you are ready to embrace the challenge as an opportunity to grow, not to try to stop the challenge, but to recognize that we have to be uncomfortable to grow. We don't grow from complacency. All right. So let me just share a couple of strong aspects that's happening right now, and then I'll pull a card and we'll wrap it up. So the sun is trining or in a trine with Mars. Okay. Sun in strong trine with Mars. That means that the planetary energies flow smoothly and the connection is easy and beneficial. The sun is the planet of vitality and Mars is the planet of action, energy, and drive. With the sun trine or sextile Mars, there's a light shining on everyone's power potential. The impetus to push forward in any project is heightened and the road to progress is eased. With radiant courage, anything is possible. Okay? Enjoy that. Not sure how long that's going to last. All right. There's also the sun. Hold on. Yeah. The sun is in a strong square with Jupiter. The planetary energies conflict. Internal and creative tensions bring rich rewards through effort over time. Jupiter has a tendency, or Jupiter's transit, he stays in a sign for about 2 years. So he's supportive, but he's going to push for stability. He's going to push for growth and expansion. Okay, kind of like you don't have a choice but to get up and do better. All right. And with the sun being there, there's going to be a light shine on that. And with some effort over time, you can really pull out some very positive rewards or positive blessings or blessings in general from that energy. All right. What else do we have? The moon is sextile Venus, which is in retrograde right now. Okay. So the moon is in strong sextile with Venus. The planetary energies flow together, open into new possibilities, new connections. The moon symbolizes instinctive awareness, and Venus is the planet of love, money, and beauty. With the moon trine or sextile Venus, there is cooperation between everyone's emotions and their love nature. Romance is heightened and seems easy. Peace and happiness abound. This could also be a positive day to make a financial decision. Try not to do that financial decision on a void of course moon. Okay. Yeah. They happen they're kind of quick, like a few hours, like almost every other day. But taking your time with, new things. Now, if there's a decision that's been lingering, you're fine. But new decisions, making something new or committing to something new is something you want to kind of chill with on a void of course moon. But when you have the moon in a sextile with Venus, she's exposing some of those hidden love, money, and beauty kind of goals, and requiring us to, not requiring, but more so allowing us to be cooperative, to be open, to be vulnerable, okay, to be able to meet each other at a place of need, be able to show up for each other, love on each other, that kind of thing. All right, and then Mercury is in a sextile with Pluto, where Mercury will be going into retrograde soon here as well, but he may not be in sextile with Pluto at that time. So the planetary energies flow together. This is Mercury in strong sextile with Pluto. The planetary energies flow together, open into new possibilities, new connections, which I said already. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Pluto is the planet of transformation. With Mercury trine or sextile Pluto, everyone feels an enhanced ability for their mind to uncover hidden information. Thoughts can become deep and revealing. It is a great day for analyzing psychological matters that will help you move towards healing outmoded patterns or outdated patterns. You might be able to play detective, seeing into the motivations of others. Your business instincts might be sharper than usual. So that Pluto is that, like I said, that generational shift, and to me calls on some of that inner child healing, because that's where we carry a lot of our generational patterns, wounds, even some of the good stuff, right? We carry it in that inner child. So Mercury being in a sextile with Pluto is going to allow us to either communicate those things, which I think I was mentioning earlier, but also to be more aware, to be more cognizant, like recognizing our thoughts, like realizing how we think and what's been programmed. So now we're embracing the deprogramming of any generational patterns that don't serve us anymore. Message. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, and we're gonna go ahead and pick a card. There's a few other things happening, but I don't want to spend too much time on them because I pretty much have covered it. Excuse me. I pretty much have covered it already. Yeah. Waxing crescent. And then first quarter. What did I say? Yeah, first quarter. I gotta trust myself. I don't know why I be going back and forth. But there's been a shift because the full moon a few months ago, not last month, probably not even, basically this year, the full moon have shifted. It was typically at the end of the month. Now it's at the beginning of the month, which proves that our months don't really line up with the actual lunar phases, but I digress because I can't do anything about that except for know it and the powers that be that put these things in place. But the information is here for us. So we are celebrating that first quarter moon. All right, which, like I said, can be like, you can have some of that resistance, but it's like it's to help clear so that we can make room. All right. I think that's really all I wanted to say on that. So let's go ahead and Holy Spirit, ancestors of divine love and healing light, please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door in the name above all names. Amen. So I'm gonna make at some point, I'm going to do signs. I don't really, like I said, I don't want to call it a horoscope or even like a zodiac reading, but no. Nothing is yet set in stone and adjustments are required. So they landed like this. But I mean, we probably have about 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bottom of the deck. You are good enough. New moon, full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. I think that came. I don't know if that came out recently, or if it came out, it might have come out in another card recently. But nothing is yet set in stone. We'll read that, which this card has come out for us previously as well. A new romantic cycle begins. Oh, this is a mutable moon. So that's for our mutable signs. Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius are mutable signs. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Hold your vision, which we were talking about earlier. This has also come out. Fixed moon. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. This eclipse is going to be wiping some things out. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. I believe this came out last time or the time before as well. And adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. I feel like we haven't seen this one in a while. And then your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. So adjustments are required and nothing is yet set in stone were the cards that show themselves. So let's read. I feel like almost all of these have come out in the last maybe 3 to 5 celebrations. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. I'm not going to read nothing is yet set in stone. I believe that came out either last celebration or the one before. Okay, third quarter moon, adjustments are required. Yeah. I'm on point. I'm sharp. All right. Sorry, I was just kind of checking myself on my first quarter moon. Third quarter moon. 36. Something could be significant about 36. Breaking down to a 9, divine timing, I like to call it. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Think of yourself as a vessel that has been filled more and more over the past few weeks. Some of what has come your way may have been wonderful, but there is also a lot of negativity, and you need to let go of this. Whatever situation you're asking about now, be honest about whether there are toxic emotions involved, which you need to release into the ethers. This card also comes with the promise that all is not lost. However, there are changes or adjustments required before you will get to where you want to be. A change of course is forecast now that recent events have been understood and acted upon. There may also be a crisis now which will remind you what you want and what is time to let go of. So pay attention. Attuned to the moon, I am reevaluating the situation. Additional meanings, your life may be out of balance and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forwards. The teaching. At the time of the third quarter moon, we know where we've been, but where are we going? The moon is now half full and slipping away from us as she catches less and less light, moving towards her full disappearance at new moon. This is a time of falling away and a time to reevaluate. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release and to trust. So there's a message there. This message, I would say, this card probably has a different tone of all the other cards. So I would kind of take this like a bottom of the deck card where there's like a underlined undertone kind of energy. So there could be something significant about the third quarter moon. So after this full moon coming up next week, this eclipse, possibly even at that time, this is probably like a message, a warning, a heads up to make some adjustments so that you can get to all this goodness that's here. Don't give up. Nothing is like, you can still make things happen. You're good enough. Your hard work is paying off. The tough cycle is coming to an end. Conclusions are within reach. A win-win outcome is on the forecast. Your loved ones are safe. Hold your vision and a new romantic cycle begins. Like, all of these are all like pretty positive. So to me, this is like do this. Like, use the energy of this eclipse to really eclipse things out. Before Mercury goes into this retrograde. And maybe this third quarter moon will really be supportive of helping you to release whatever it is that you could be holding on to that's like negative or not allowing you to trust, maybe keeping you stuck or stagnant and stopping you from experiencing something new. It's keeping you out of balance. Like, you're not moving forward. Like, you have to reevaluate, like, where are you going? Like, that kind of energy. That's what I get from this. So thank you, Spirit, for that message. All right. I also want to do a soul's journey because I think that these cards are absolutely beautiful. As far as the messages go. And yeah, love is in the air. I definitely want to do a love message. So I think I'm going to break out of my typical moon celebrations and find some time to do a love reading for the collective here on MiSpot. All right. Forgiveness. Oh, that was a message as well that was coming up earlier today. Look at guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. It's kind of going back to that energy of adjustments are required. Look, the bottom of the deck, love is just around the corner, baby. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And then we got something peeking out here. Let's see what it is. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Something else peeking out up here. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So there's definitely like a message of like letting go of like, oh shit, sorry, but like not letting your past hold you back. That was the message before last time, I think. Like not letting your past hold you back, not repeating the same stuff, that Pluto generational cutting crap. Don't repeat what you've seen. Oh gosh, look. Oh, I flipped right to it. Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. The energy of fear has many guises to complicate your path to loving yourself. Guilt is the most devious because it is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is a self-imposed emotion that pretends to be instructive and enlightening. Guilt can help us grow when we realize that our actions have been hurtful to others and that we need to make amends. After we do so, though, it's time to learn from the behavior and move on. The problem arises when we hold on to a guilty feeling that serves no purpose other than promoting self-destructiveness and low self-esteem. And that self-esteem card popped out. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Guilt is not always rational, but if you examine it subjectively, act on it, and release it, it becomes a temporary emotion. Long-held guilty feelings are never good and will create a roadblock to self-love and happiness. You must continually scan your current emotions for any guilty feelings and bring them to the surface for analysis. Healthy guilt is a warning that action should be taken. Irrational guilt needs to be released. Listen, I'm done here for the evening, okay? You can call me High Key, Kiki. I am your shamanic guide, Reiki practitioner, intuitive energy healer, spiritual coach, and spiritual hypnotherapist if necessary, when necessary. You can reach out to me email booknow@MiSpotHealing.com. You can go check out my website, MiSpotHealing.com, and see what we offer. You can also find or fill out our contact form so you can be privy to all the things MiSpot. What else? Follow me on Instagram. If the message resonates or if you've made it this far, please like, comment, share, or subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Lets me know who's listening, who's resonating on this side, in this channel, and that we can continue to pick up on that loving, manifesting energy, because we all deserve love and prosperity. Okay? Your soul does. So allow ourselves to embrace it and to break out of the matrix of survival and just cursed patterns of toxicity and lack and scarcity and impoverished mindsets. Recognizing that we can achieve all of our dreams and our heart's desires. Okay? Thank you for listening. Always go within so you never go without. I love you, but God loves you more. Good night.